in the field light, all day light, all night light, on the blue light, on fifth light, defense light, this wild light, house call light, in the sound light, in the sound light, in the sound light.
You know, one thing I'll say about these sports media folks, they are very consistent. Oh yeah, they're very consistent of putting themselves in other people's shoes and telling everybody what they would do if they were in their position of power. Spewing what's right and what's wrong and what people should do and how people should think and how they should feel and all that foolishness. Or as I like to put it, throwing a temper tantrum because they didn't get their way. Just losing their stuff because folk don't agree with what they're saying. You know, like children. They won't admit it, but they really wanted Jeff Saturday and the Colts to lose against the Raiders on Sunday. They were fuming at the mouth. They wanted it so bad they could taste it. So when he got the win, you can imagine how they felt. Well, actually, you don't have to imagine because they've been crying and complaining about it ever since that day. Then they call themselves correcting everyone that is explaining as to why they're upset and checking anybody who don't agree with them, like I said before. And you know what? I would respect them a little bit more if they just came out point blank, said what they wanted to say. If this was a black man, they wouldn't be saying anything right now. I don't want anybody to get into reading into this too much. This ain't got nothing to do with black and white. This has everything to do with ratings for their show. They can talk all the noise and say whatever the hell they want to say. I'm not buying any word of it. Everybody's so quick to jump to the race card these days simply because it gets ratings. Not because they want change, not because they're caring about the minorities. They don't give a damn about any of us. They want ratings, they want more money in their pocket, and that's the end of it, period. And what's worse is some of these clowns actually started speaking for the coaches in the Colts organization. Like, you know these guys personally, and you talk to them heart to heart, and you know exactly what they're thinking. You don't. That would require homework, and you guys only do that to a certain degree. There have been a plethora of players, former teammates of Jeff Saturday, that have come out and said that they're happy for him and congratulating him. And one of those guys just so happened to be one of the coaches that was on the team, Reggie Wayne, who, hold your breath, is a black guy. And Edgerrin James came out and supported Jeff Saturday as well for getting this goal. Sports media talks more about how they feel, not about what they know. They do not speak for everybody, they speak for themselves. And this is the kind of mess that starts all kinds of fights and violence in the streets everywhere you go because people are still throwing this kind of crap out there in the world to begin with. Now, I did my homework, and I found out that Jeff Saturday did do high school coaching. He was a high school coach. Now, that's different from the pros and college. But Jim Irsay saw something in Saturday. He saw something in him when he was a player for them for so long. And what he saw was a great leader. And that was shown Sunday when the Colts played the Raiders and they went out and handled the business. They couldn't run the ball to save their lives before Jeff Saturday got there. And then against the Raiders, ran all over them. I was a bit surprised when they picked Saturday to be the interim head coach, but I'm going to call it right now. From what I've seen and from what I've heard from former players and teammates, the Raiders were just the first step. The Colts play the Eagles this coming week. That's the next team on their schedule. If they beat the Eagles, I'm calling it right now. Jeff Saturday will be the new head coach for the Indianapolis Colts. Period. In order to be a coach, you got to get guys that buy into what you're selling. And every person showed me on Sunday that they bought into what Jeff Saturday is selling. And they willing to go to war for this guy. So you know what? I'm going to pull for this guy. I want him to succeed. I want him to be the new head coach for the Indianapolis Colts. So Jeff Saturday, coming from me, coming from us at Rough House, we're cheering for you, we're rooting for you. Go handle the business, man.